Hello, viewers. What is the Suspicious Fermentation Room? Well, it's where we'll meet brewer and teacher Seri today. This is her brewery, and it's also the location of the Sugukseoul workshop. So I'm at the address. I look right. I look left. I look up. But you have to go down. This is the place. This is Sugukseoul. It's nice and cozy underground. This is Seri's brewery and workshop. She teaches many people how to brew here. If you're in Seoul, sign up for a special experience at Sugukseoul. Learn how to brew traditional Korean alcohol from an expert brewer. It really looks like everyone has fun doing it.
Hello, viewers. I'm very happy today to be able to meet in person. First time I get to meet Seri.
Yes.
And
I need to correct my introduction while editing. Seri has both a brewery and a workshop at this location. The brewery is the Suspicious Fermentation Room, and the workshop is Sugukseoul. So she's the business owner, she's the brewer, she's the educator, she does it all.
and has taught so many people how to make traditional Korean alcohol. And I'm very impressed. And everyone on Instagram looks like they're having so much fun making makgeolli, and I'm really impressed by how many people you've reached and taught these things. And I hope to learn something today from you. I'm really happy to meet you in person.
Thank you so visiting here, and I'm nervous too much, but today I hope we have a good time, and I wanna showing many things about Korean liquor and talk to you. I hope. Yeah.
All right. Very good, very good. All right, so let's just get started. What is your background in brewing?
It's almost 10 years I did. I studied Korean liquor. At first, I studied Korean traditional food. Yeah, so I study a lot and I learn a lot. But my career patchy because it didn't suit me. Yeah, so at that time I made the Korean traditional liquor and I changed my road and then I studied that.
Okay. And yeah. And how did you start this place, Suguk?
I worked near Seoul in Gapyeong in the Gyeonggi-do. Yeah, so I don't live in there, just to walk around. Yeah, so it's almost 4 hours from my home to work.
Oh.
Yeah, so I almost worked in 4 years. So at that time I'm too tired. Yeah, but I wanna more study and do my Korean traditional liquor. So I have a chance, so I opened my shop, my workshop, right? Yeah, near my home. So I opened 2017. Yeah, so here is almost 5 years.
Wow.
I did. Yeah. Right.
That's great. So are you happy with how everything turned out then? That's great.
Yes, right. I can't possibly walk to my home, so located near my home is very comfortable. Yeah, make me
Great. In this workshop, what kinds of things do you offer in this workshop?
Oh, I provide this interesting experience of a Korean liquor. Yeah, Korean traditional liqueur. Education and exploration. It's education usually, and provides the variety of subjects. From this, who wants to enjoy the rightly, like the one-day class or like something, and who wants to run the formally, I try to study. Yeah.
Okay. And so it's not just one kind of class. You have many kinds of classes.
I have many kind of class.
Yeah.
Basically, usually use the sticky rice makgeolli. It is popular in people. And sometimes I add other ingredient like the fruit or sometimes the flour, and then make the makgeolli. And it's a regular class. 4 time or 8 time, I studied Korean traditional liquor.
Great. And sometimes you have it related with food as well. Do you have other people that cooperate with you, or do you have you relate the alcohol with food as well, right?
Sometimes, usually for the Korean, I just showing the how to make the makgeolli.
Okay.
But usually the foreigner, they never chance to take it their home,
right,
because it's a permanent. Yeah. So at that time, I try to. They have many experience in Korea, so they make the Korean traditional liqueur makgeolli, and then they make the small snack to Korean food. Yeah, like the kimchijeon or some other tteokbokki like that, and then enjoy together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And it looks like it's very popular.
I hope.
From different places I saw on YouTube too that some friends of mine attended this,
right.
and had a very good experience. And so I saw you on YouTube, I saw you on Instagram from different people that I knew. So
I hope they have a good experience in Korea. So I try to many things.
Yeah. But I think it's very successful like that. It's good. I got a good feeling that a lot of people enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and can you tell me the meaning of the name Suguk?
Oh yeah, Suguk means use a Chinese character. I think you can see the Chinese character.
Yeah,
the
tray.
Yeah,
the water
right.
first and.
Right. It means water and noodle.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I can't explain well about the noodle to foreigner because they don't know the noodle, but it is different to yeast. Yeah, noodle includes the yeast, but it's different.
Yeah. Much more.
Yes, right. So it means the water and noodle.
Okay.
Yeah. So I usually use just the noodle. I don't. Sometimes I use the yeast, but usually I use just the Korean traditional noodle and then make the liqueur.
Yeah. Okay, great. So it's a perfect name.
Yeah, thank you. But sometimes, the suguk is the sometimes same pronunciation the flower.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how can explain
when I just put it in Google Translate,
yes,
it
right.
gave the name of the flower, hydrangea.
Yes, right.
Well, that's a very certain kind of flower.
Yes, right. So sometimes some people call me, ask, do you have is there a flower shop? Like ask me. Yeah.
But no, you're going to provide traditional Korean alcohol.
Yes, right.
Okay, and now, who do you think would enjoy coming here and having one of these experiences? Who do you think would enjoy it?
It is good for people who are interested in Korean liqueur and fermentation. Yeah. I introduce Korean liqueur to foreigner and have time to make a simple snack. And it also introduced a good makgeolli pop to there. Yeah, because usually many Korean people they don't know too the good makgeolli pop because I think you know that a Korean traditional liqueur is not much popular in Korea. Especially young people, they don't want to drink the Korean traditional liqueur. They think it's too old school.
Okay.
Yeah. But these days, makgeolli is a little bit popular than before. Yeah. So they want to try good pub, they want to visit good pub, and they want to try good makgeolli. So I think it is my job. Yeah. So I introduce many things to them.
Yeah.
Not just Korean, everybody. Yeah. So especially the foreigner, they don't know to the good place to drink the makgeolli. So sometimes I find the Google map but it's a little bit difficult. Usually I use the Korean Google map, so they don't have an English name. Yeah. So at the time it's a little bit difficult, but I try to make. Yeah.
Well, I really think it's a great thing to promote Korean traditional alcohol to everyone. More people should know about it, and it's thanks to you that more people do know about it. I can't now. I try to guess how many people have taken your classes. Do you know?
I hope. Many, usually the young people, they visited for the one-day class. They want to know, in fact, they just drink the makgeolli or little bit. So
Yeah.
they have already many things about the makgeolli, but they changed the mind in my class.
Right.
Yeah.
They can learn.
Yeah.
They can learn what
Anything, yeah.
what the real traditional
And
makgeolli is like.
usually you can buy the market in the makgeolli like Changsu or Jipyeong or something. It is so different to the homemade makgeolli.
Right.
The taste and alcohol percentage, all of the different. Yeah. So I want to show that to them.
Right. Okay. So, what do you think your students should? Oh, I think you really covered that. What you've described what students should learn about Korean traditional alcohol, and what have they ever surprised you? Have any students surprised you?
Oh, sometimes it's really difficult because it's good to understand the history and the story, the liqueur story. Many people, when they visit Korea, they think the Korean liquor is famous just the soju and makgeolli. But soju we have two kinds of the soju. Yeah, it's one of the like 참이슬 or 처음처럼. It is divided into the diluted soju, mixed water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. You right?
Diluted
soju, and then distilled soju. It's different.
Right, and the diluted soju, that's the kind that people would have seen in the U.S.
Yes,
because
right.
you can buy that, and it's very industrial product.
Right, it's popular, and many foreigner and many Korean, they drink too much. Yeah, so and then they said the distilled soju is expensive,
Right.
but they know the history.
But distilled soju has the real taste.
Yes,
of
right.
It's a special taste of the rice that you can't have any other way.
I hope why they expensive. They wanna know that the story and how to make that. Yeah, so I hope that understand that too. And there is a homemade liqueur called 가양주. Did you heard that? 가양주?
Kaiyangju. Oh,
Yeah.
what is that?
가양주 means it is a Chinese character. If we use the Chinese character, it means a home, and yang means make. So homemade liqueur.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So our history in Joseon, they made the liqueur by themselves to use their home ingredient. Yeah. So it's the taste is different to home and home, like the kimchi. Yeah. So it is our history. I think it is our root of the liqueur. But after this, it began to disappear throughout the Japanese rules and then modern time. So they stopped. They finished the history a long time. So this day we started again. So many Korean brewer, homemade brewer, they make the gayangju by themselves.
Okay.
It is really different. Just use the same ingredient, but taste is different, and alcohol percentage is different. Yeah, I think is gayangju's charming things. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Now, of course, I want to learn some things about brewing from you, and what are some common mistakes that home brewers make? Or how do you correct if something goes wrong? How do you correct it? Or are there some common things that people should know?
This is a mistake I did make. Yeah, and people who use natural yeast. Yeah, because the noodle case they don't use the yeast, just to use the natural yeast. So it is really the different taste when we make time. So this time and next time, after few time, every time the taste is different. So I think sometimes I tell to my student, make the rule, make the habit. Yeah. So if you're cleaning the rice at that time, soak in the water. Sometimes I'm busy, so I soak just 4 hours. Sometimes I soak the 6 hours. Sometimes I did the 12 hours like this. Yeah. It is different. It makes a different taste. So I tell to my students. So if you're busy or not busy, make the rule and follow that. Yeah. It's very important thing, I think.
Okay. Good advice. So, have your students ever surprised you?
Sometimes some students they run to here and just for the experience 1 day class like this.
Yeah.
But after a few months, he or she make find the YouTube or find the internet, and they started to make the gayangju, homemade liqueur, and they updating to their blog or YouTube. At that time, I'm so happy.
Right.
So,
right.
I make the load and they follow them. Yeah. So at that time, I was happy. And sometimes the foreigner case, some guys he is the chef. And he learned how to make the makgeolli and come back to his home, and he found the Korean market and buy the noodle and make the makgeolli and enjoy his coworker. Yeah. And then he wanna try to use this makgeolli and make some of the menu, and he wanna try to make that.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm so happy.
Yeah. Right. So that's a very happy surprise.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But you really have an influence, of course, that this information is going out, but people are acting on it, and
yes, right.
it affects their lives. So that's a good feeling.
Thank you. I know that. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a big question for you. What is seoul to you? What does it mean to you?
I think seoul is a pleasure in my life. Yeah, I think I did always together with my sur. Yeah, hard work, sad work, or normal work. Yeah, always I have with a sur, and sometimes drink and share together and enjoy that. So I hope everyone who makes and drink will enjoy it. Yeah, of course it's not too much. Yeah.
So that's very meaningful to your life.
Yes, right.
Of course, and so it's great you can share that with other people.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a sort of practical question. Would people know something about different kinds of Korean traditional alcohol? There's makgeolli, takju, changju. Simple. People know what those are. You explain what those are, but how should people drink those? Are there different ways you should drink those? They're not all the same.
Oh, first, I was very surprised because you asked me. Yeah, because many Korean they don't know what's the difference the makgeolli and takju and yakju, because they just know the makgeolli. Yeah, so makgeolli is included the takju. Yeah, according to Korean law, makgeolli is included in the takju, and but ordinary people don't know the distinguish well. Yeah. Takju is unfiltered. Yeah, just to make it drink. Yeah, we call it that.
Okay. Okay, and just to so for the viewers, the takju also is that. If I say takju, does that mean it is not diluted? Like no water has been extra water has been added, or sometimes some water has been added?
Oh, it's no problem. If you add the water or not add the water, we call it all of the takju.
Okay.
It is a milky makgeolli.
But the important point for takju is that it's the cloudy
Yes,
color.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So if they have a low percentage of alcohol, but there is a milky, we call it the takju.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for the viewers, changju would be the opposite of that, the clear.
Yes, right.
The clear color, transparent color.
But in Korea, in the law, we shared two kinds of the changju.
Okay.
Yeah. We call it the changju. It means a cleaning liquor, and we call it the yakju. Yeah. But yakju is a similar, similar meaning with the changju. But other place, how can? Because I have to explain where, because it's a Korean history. Yeah.
Yes.
We created the changju, but after the Japanese colonial period, Japanese liquor took the name of the changju. Yeah. So after we independent of the Japan, and we make the law, but we already make the Japanese rule and then make the liquor.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is different to the Korean traditional method. So at that time we said Korean traditional method used the yakju.
So that name became used for the Korean kind. And okay.
Yes, right. So in the law, if we have the 1% of over the 1% of the noodle, we call it the yakju. Yeah. Under the 1% of the noodle, we call it the changju.
Oh, okay. So sometimes the legal names they might be different than just what common people words they use to
usually people making the homemade makgeolli or homemade liqueur, they just call it the changju like this. It is some people they think it's our real name, so they wanna find them, but in the law it is different. So changju case is like the sake. Sake we call it the changju, and makgeolli the different thing we use the noodle we call it the yakju.
Okay.
Yeah. Yakju means in fact 약 means the medicine. Yeah. So people in Korean, they make the liquor and they drink for the health. Yeah.
Right.
So it called the 약주 means the medicine liquor. So they drink with the rice.
Okay.
They drink with the rice for their health. Yeah.
Right.
So we call it the 약주, but it's a little bit different meaning in the law.
So that's good. So we've explained some of the details of these words, and then these kinds of liquors are drank in different occasions and they're not drank the same way, right? So how would you explain when you drink yakju? How is that different than drinking makgeolli? Like what occasions?
Yeah, usually makgeolli case drink very easily, comfortable. Yeah, so like this raining day. Yeah, in Korea, many Korean people they wanna drink the makgeolli.
Right.
Do you know that why they wanna drink at the time?
Well, I've heard some reasons. Something about the sound.
Yes, right. Yeah, because they wanna with 전, the kimchijeon or something, the cooking sound and raining sound, and when it kills the makgeolli, the sound is similar. Yeah, so they wanna drink like this. Yeah. So in Cheongju case, like this a cleaning the liquor, it is almost a high percentage of alcohol, 15 to 18, like this. So it's difficult to drink like the makgeolli. Yeah. So usually drink a small glass and then eat with the oily food, like the beef or pork or 전 or other thing. So usually in the 추석, do you know that 추석 is Korean Thanksgiving Day? Yeah, and then Happy New Year. At the time we enjoyed this one.
Okay. Well, it's very beautiful that the color of the changju. That's very beautiful to see. So you want to save it for special occasions.
Are you sure that? Yeah. It's a clinic. So it made almost 6 months I can make. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I don't use the filter net. I don't use a machine for the filter. Just keeping in the liquid.
Just time.
Yeah.
Just the time, and then it becomes clear.
Yes, right. So I wait.
Yeah. Tell me if I'm right, but I think most of the time you're teaching a class, it's a beginner class, and the people in the class are making danyanju. Is that right?
Yes, right.
Okay. And if they brew more later, what would you recommend they do next after that? Or should they practice that for a long time? But after that, what should they do?
If you're good making danyanju, it is also good to try to the difficult stage of 2, 2양주 or 3양주. By making alcohol for the first time, cultivating yeast and then adding grains again. Yeah. And alcohol is more stably fermented. The fermented well, and then alcohol is also increased. So if you, I think, of course, the fermentation period is longer than that of danyanju, but if you wanna drink more high percentage of alcohol, what will be tasted more comfortable taste, you can make the 2양주 or 3양주. Yeah. 단양주 is you can make easy, and drink faster than 2양주 and 3양주. So almost 1 or 2 weeks you can make and drink. So if you don't have a time or just to enjoy it simply at the time, you can make the 단양주.
Yeah. And I like making all kinds. Of course, danyanju often has a nice fresh taste. You can drink it. You don't wait a long time to age. You just drink it quickly, and
Right.
it's good, a nice fresh taste.
First time, I don't make the 단양주 when I was young. I think the 이양주 or 삼양주 is the really Korean traditional liquor. I thought, yeah. So I make a lot of time 이양주 or 삼양주 a lot. But when I opened my shop, my shop, at that time I started and learn a lot to make the 단양주.
Yeah.
Because normal people, they don't understand where the 이양주 or 삼양주, and they think it is heavy. Yeah, make heavy, difficult. So they wanna just enjoy it one time or two times. So I started to make the 단양주 and I teach them. Yeah, but nowadays I make it well. Yeah, but first time I usually make the 이양주 or 삼양주, so it's a little bit different fermentation and then a little bit different the method like this. So first time I was a little bit confused then. Yeah.
Well, I find that hard to believe. but if you say so.
Yes. He say I'm okay. Yeah.
When you brew just for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what do you make? What recipe do you follow?
I like to make 단양주, but my major is to make the like the 이양주 or 삼양주.
Yeah.
And mentally use the method of making porridge. Yeah.
So what kind of porridge? What's the name of the porridge?
We call it the 죽. It's
Yeah.
similar like the soup. And usually making the 석탄주. It's a Korean traditional liquor name. It means the 아깝다. I find it later. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the taste is really good. Yeah. So it
Okay.
used the method the Korean 죽, the soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that juk is made with 맵쌀 garu.
Yes, right. 맵쌀 and add a lot of water and make the porridge. Yeah. So I think I saw your YouTube make the bumbo.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Because sometimes I'm lazy, and I think, okay, I don't want to be stirring.
Yes, right.
And I can make bambak, and that'll be done very quickly.
Mm-hmm,
And so I
right.
think, oh, this is so convenient.
Yes, right. But many Koreans they like the soup porridge because bambok is a little bit difficult mixed with the noodle.
Oh,
They
okay.
feel so it's very hard. Yeah. So juk is just still like a 10 minutes or 15 minutes and just make the cool and to just mix easily. So usually many people use the bambok and juk. So I did two. I make two. So but this is a little bit different. When I use the bambok case, I make the little bit strong liquor.
Okay.
Like the 국화, the marigold liquor.
Oh.
Yeah, because the marigold is, I think, the taste and smell is not soft. It's a little bit bitter and a little bit powerful. So at that time, I mixed with the bambok. So bambok case, when I use the bambok and make the liquor, the taste is a little bit bitter and powerful and natural thing. Yeah.
Oh, so that's very good insight into matching
Right.
the ingredients with the method.
Yes, right. And the juk porridge case, I usually use the other flour. It's very soft and little bit sour flour, and then make that. Yeah. So depend on the we call it the misul, the base liquor. Depend on what I want, and we can choose that.
Okay.
We
So you spent a lot of time thinking about how to do this. Okay.
So we in Korea we have a kind of the misul method. Yeah, the bambok and juk is basically many people use that, but sometimes we cook the steamed rice cake.
Okay.
Do you know that 설기, 백설기?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Okay.
We use the 백설기 or the boiling the the 떡. Yeah, we call
that seems like a lot of work too.
we call it the 구멍떡. It means it looks like the donut.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, those. I only saw videos of people making it.
Yeah.
And it's very a lot of labor to make it.
Yes, right. But the boiling case, they add just water when we make the mix and then boiling. So they don't add any more water.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's very too hard to mix the noodle.
Yeah, and the end result of that fermentation is also very thick, right?
Yes, right. So it depends on the miso. So today I will show some of the liquor is depend on the different the miso.
Oh,
So if I
fantastic.
finish the class, we try this one and talk.
Yeah.
I hope.
Hey, that's fantastic information you're sharing. I really appreciate you sharing that with
Because I
with
think
our viewers.
you make very many things in your country. Yeah, it is. I know that it is difficult. Yeah.
But often I just if I don't know the reason for something, but I can try it and just see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't have the. I might not know why.
Right.
I don't know why, but I'll try it 3 ways and see what I like.
But sometimes I don't know too. Yeah. We call it that is the destiny using the natural yeast. People, yeah. We call it that. Yeah. Sometimes I make the same rule and make that, but sometimes they have a little bit different mold, and they change its smell. And I want to know why they happen. Yeah, me too. I'm still studying. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? So, what do you think the best way for me to learn more about Seoul, or for my viewers to learn more about Seoul, especially if they're not in Korea? What's the best way to learn more? Do you think?
It's a really bit difficult story. Yeah, because in fact, these days the Korean tradition is a little bit popular. Yeah. So now many people some people they wanna to how to make the makgeolli, how to make the Korean liquor. So some academy they possibly learn to how to make the liquor after 3 years because so many people wait there.
Oh.
Yeah. So this day is very popular. So it's difficult to study outside of the Korea because we don't have the teacher.
But also Brewing Academy is formal system. You get certificate of your brewer afterwards, right?
Yeah. So I think it's just depend on the YouTube or other things because these days many people they open the YouTube and they showing their method and their how to make the makgeolli or how to make the Korean liquor. I think they don't have all of that, but some have is good to how to make that. Yeah. So I think it's really difficult.
Well, if part of your recommendation is that people watch YouTube, I approve. I approve of that idea. So you have many things to show me. In fact, you have 2 kinds of noodle right here.
Yeah. It is a regularly noodle in Korea. Find easily internet. Yeah. Because in Korea, if I use the noodle, just 2 kinds of the people who makes the Korean traditional liquor or who makes the Korean traditional vinegar.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can find easily the market, the street market or something like being market, e-mart or something. We can find easily. So just depend on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. So internet site they sell this one. They have a lot of history. In Korea, many noodle factory closed because not popular. So we have just 3 or 4 kind of the noodle factory. They still alive, and this day people personally they make the and then sell. But if you're the basic brewer, yeah, at that time I think don't use the personal noodle. The factory noodle is the better than experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be consistent.
Yes.
And then you can trust it when you're trying different recipes.
Right.
You can trust it.
So we have 2 kinds of the noodle. Is the yellow thing and green thing. Yellow thing is the incomed the wheat. Yeah.
Right.
Green
Okay,
one is
so it's a different source of wheat. This
yeah.
is
Here is the sweet meal means the incomed the wheat from the America. Yeah. It is a Korean wheat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
The price is almost twice. Yeah, it's almost 5,000 won, almost 10,000 won, like this. It's a different price. But when I use that, I think it's similar. Yeah.
Okay. So you're answering question. Because actually, I just ordered this on the internet because I never had the chance to brew with this before.
Yes.
And so I'm in Korea this time long enough to actually order something and get it. So I'm going to try these too.
Yeah, try this too. Yeah.
So this is sugukseoul.
Yes, right. This one is normal. Yeah.
So I can be happy to use those. You use those for your classes.
Yeah. Usually I use that and make my liqueur and use it too.
Okay.
I wanna make the noodle, but it's really depend on the weather or the environment. Yeah, so it's a change it a lot to my liqueur. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I've tried to make noodle a few times, and of course, I was just happy that it allowed the fermentation to happen.
That's right.
So the taste, I think, of my homemade noodle is maybe too strong, like too bitter. But just because I only, just started trying to do it. So, but when I used the noodle that I bought, the taste was a lot milder.
Yes.
But still interesting.
Interesting, but I'm difficult keeping the taste of my own makgeolli, so I don't want to make this one. Yeah, I make the many things. Yeah,
Right.
it's difficult.
Yeah. So yeah, you're busy. You're
Yes,
busy
right.
with your own brewing.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Fantastic. A lot of commercial makgeollis.
Yeah.
I look at the ingredients on the bottle,
Yeah.
and there's no nuruk.
Oh, yes, right.
It's ipguk, is that right? Which is maybe made with rice, but it's more the Japanese style.
Right.
So it's not the same kind of. So what do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's possible because I said the noodle is the usual natural yeast, so it's really difficult keeping the taste. Yes, make it difficult to same quality. I know that. So this day we call it that premium makgeolli. It's a homemade makgeolli, like use the natural noodle. Yeah, it is depend on the batch. So in summer the taste is a little bit different. Fall is a little bit different. So many people understand that.
Okay,
Yeah, so
right.
this day, if I use the noodle, it's possible. Well, many people understand that. But the big company who make the cheap makgeolli, it is really difficult to keeping their makgeolli, their taste. So at that time, they use the easy method. I think it's possible, and then it started a long time ago. So it is already include our history.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't want to say it is the Japanese style, but At the time, I have to explain that at the time I said that. But it's many people, many Korean use that. But nowadays, I think it is a Korean style too.
Okay, right. So that maybe you use different words for koji from Japan and ipguk from Korea.
Yes.
And then they're right.
Yes, right. And just many people, they don't wanna say why this makgeolli is too expensive. Yeah, it's a different method and different ingredient. They drink just cheap makgeolli, and they learn to makgeolli is cheap. Yeah, but these days we make the many makgeolli, but still many people they ask me why makgeolli is expensive. We have to it's cheap, so we have to buy it. Yeah, like this. That is a little bit sad, but these days a little bit changing again.
Yeah, there are more and more small breweries.
Yes, right.
Like you, people like you brewing.
Yes.
So and of course, I think this kind of brewing is, of course, it's worth more because it's better.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
I think so.
Okay, Seri, do you have any message for my viewers today?
Okay. If you come to Korea, please look for Korean liquor, especially makgeolli. It's hard to take out. It is hard to take out to your country. So enjoy it a lot in Korea, and please visit our studio too. Yeah. Thank you.
Very good. So all the information about sugukseoul and the location and the Instagram, that's all in the description, of course. So look that up. It's very much worth seeing, and you'll enjoy the experience. Okay, so thank you so much, Seri, for talking with us today. This is really informative, and you've shared so much information with me. I'm going to think about what you said carefully.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Thank you.